My boyfriend had to clean my poop. Back in 2019, I, 20 female, was training horses and was at a 12-week international competition for show jumping. For the first time in my career, I had a string of horses to show for clients, which in this field is a pretty big step. One morning, I was inspecting a horse's leg who had accidentally cut himself. While I was hunched over inspecting the wound, someone walked by and shook out a tarp, which scared the ever-living crap out of the horse. In his panic, he bolted forward and kicked out, catching me in the side and sending me flying. I quickly got up and ran away to avoid being stomped on, but it was then I realized I couldn't stand up straight. I tried to walk it off, but the pain only got worse, and eventually I couldn't sit or stand anymore, so I laid down in the dirt and discovered I couldn't get back up. I ended up taking an ambulance to the nearest hospital and learned the kick from the horse fractured 2 of my vertebrae, severely bruised my kidney, and tore many tendons and muscles in the area. I spent 8 days in the hospital as I was a fall risk and couldn't walk or really even move for that matter. The pain was so severe my team of doctors had me on numerous medications. One of those medications was notorious painkiller Oxy. While the Oxy had helped the immobilizing pain, it also made me extremely constipated. I wasn't able to pass a bowel movement until my final day in the hospital after pounding prune juice, milk of magnesia, and loads of laxatives. Nonetheless, after 8 days I was finally able to pass the most horrific bowel movement of my life, and they sent me home. I went back to the apartment my boyfriend, 22 male, of 1 year and I lived at. We didn't have the funds for rehab. We also did not have the funds for an in-home nurse to help me, so my paramedic student boyfriend graciously stepped up and became my full-time caretaker. He kept track of my medications, assisted me when I needed to get up, rotated my heating pad and ice packs, etc. You name it, this sweet soul had it taken care of. Fast forward to day 7 of me being home and I again had not passed another bowel movement. I was weaning off the pain meds at this point because I couldn't handle the constipation anymore. Around 9 p.m. that evening, I felt things shifting in my gut and told my boyfriend I needed to get to the bathroom. He carefully got me out of bed and up with my walker so we could make our way to the bathroom. Once I was situated on the toilet, he let me be. After about 20 to 30 minutes of struggling, I called him back and said it's not going to happen. My boyfriend lifted me onto my feet a little too quickly and I began to get dizzy. All the medications I was on made me very prone to passing out. He saw me turning white and sat me back down on the toilet. Now that I was sitting again, I started regaining consciousness and felt the monstrous bowel movement involuntarily start exiting my colon with a scary amount of force. In that moment, I was so relieved. I looked at my boyfriend who was still holding me up and said, "It's happening. I'm finally crapping. Go go go," and I attempted to shoo him away. As those words left my mouth, I saw my boyfriend's face drop, and I noticed the god-awful liquid crap that had been brewing in my gut for the past 7 days was in fact pooling around my bottom. That's when I realized, when I began passing out, my boyfriend had shut the toilet lid. Now I was sitting here on a closed toilet with what seemed like gallons of liquid crap flying out of my butt all over myself, the toilet, the walls and the floor, while my poor boyfriend stood there petrified. I instantly started crying. I kept trying to make my boyfriend leave while still crapping and sobbing. "You closed the lid?" "No." "Why did you close the lid?" "I'm so sorry, you don't want to see this. Go get out." When all was said and done, I was sitting there desperately clenching the handles on my granny walker, sobbing, covered by nothing but a t-shirt and my own 7-day-old poop. The first thoughts running through my head were, he's going to leave me. This is the most disgusting thing ever and he's never going to be able to look at me ever again. Between my sobs, my trooper of a boyfriend said, "It's okay. I closed the lid because I wanted you to have a stable seat when you started passing out. In hindsight, I knew you came in here to poop, so it probably wasn't the best move. Let's get you in the shower and I'll take care of this." He carefully moved me into my shower chair while I was still bawling and apologizing, and started the water for me so I could begin cleaning off the horrific mess from my bottom. Meanwhile, I watched this saint of a man calmly clean up my crime scene that plastered the bathroom without so much as a single dry heave. And even after that, he got into the shower with me to make sure I was fully clean since I could barely move on my own. In my panic, I had a moment of clarity, realizing, this man is the one. Only a year into our relationship and very newly living together, he was able to witness this horror and not only handle it with grace, but also continue to reassure me and still love me. After being together 5 years, we got married, bought our own home, have 3 wonderful pets, and my colon's attack on the planet only brought us closer. Some poop stories can be wholesome, I guess.